Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Metroid Zero Mission, any percent, and the goal in the game is to beat this game as quickly as we can. So this is a pretty well established category. It's pretty straightforward. The main annoying thing about the routing is routing out missile tanks you need, because this game is really missile heavy. You can't damage most bosses without using missiles. So we get a total of 4 or 6 super missiles and 50 missiles in the run. The developers are also kind enough to put in a lot of quote-unquote intentional skips. Oh my god, this game feels so different after playing NES. This is so weird. So yeah, we're going to be taking advantage of a lot of those to take a lot of handy shortcuts and also skip some major items. And here's kind of a required total statue that gives you the map. The game's like, oh, you should go here, but screw that, we're just going to take these other paths that the developers intended. So, oh, that leads to long beam. We don't like long beam, it costs time, so I'm just not going to get it. Which makes life suck, because long beam is actually very inconvenient to have, but it's slower, so oh well. And there's a little shortcut here you can take. If you take the horizontal row of blocks, you can't go through that without long beam or missiles. So. And there's a boss coming up, which we call, I don't know, King Worm or something. He gives you charge beam. You can get double missiles on him, you can skip around, which saves a good chunk of time, but what that means is you have to hit him with 2 missiles on the same frame, which is a lot harder than it sounds. I'll be going for that, and hopefully I get it. If not, oh well, it's not the end of the world. Oh, there's an invisible wall here. Good. Nope, oh well. Well, I'm at 0 missiles now, and I kind of need missiles for the notorious high room coming up, which is the run ender of all of them. Pretty much the reason why 90% of runs die in the first 2 minutes. Ideally, I'll have 5 missiles. I'm gonna go get another one here just to be safe. Or I can just get no drops. Awesome. I think it's 70% chance to get a missile drop from those zoomers if you're full on health. Or something like that. I don't remember. Here's a notorious hive room coming up. It sucks, especially since you don't have long beam. So each of those hives, each hive has 64 health. Each missile does 20 damage. Each of your beam shots do 2 damage. So you need to shoot 3 missiles and I think 2 beam shots, something like that. So I'm gonna go down here and lure all these darn bugs so they don't get in the way of my missiles. Or I can just fall down too. That's a good idea too. Well, I didn't die, so yeah. And there's another convenient missile tank here, so. Now the goal of me going to the east side of Brinstar is to go get the bomb upgrade, which is going to be important for basically everything. And there's a handy trick you can do called infinite bomb jumping, which is kind of intended by developers. I don't know, probably. And then after that I'm going to go down to Norfair and get the power grip. No missile drops. It's nice to get more missile drops because, again, the 90% run is really missile heavy. And hey, bombs. Cool. Bombs explode really quickly in this game, more quickly than any of the other 2D Metroids, and they have a pretty wide blast radius too, so bomb jumping in this game is pretty easy to do, relatively speaking. And these bugs are also completely random. That was not very good luck. Oh well. Okay, well that was great. Thanks! Alright, so I got bombs, now I'm gonna go down to Norfair. So there's kind of an annoying plant that blocks your way to go to lower Norfair. And that plant arbitrarily disappears once you get power grip. So it's kind of an annoying block, an inexplicable block that the developers put in. So it kind of forces you to get power grip. Sucks, but yeah. The game is actually well programmed, so there isn't really anything you can do that's unintended. The biggest skip in the game that we consider to be acid worm skip, there's actually a speedrun of a developer doing that skip. From a Japanese developer doing that, so that's arguably intended. or well, not fixed or whatever. So it's kind of hilarious. But yeah, it's just kind of yeah. Oh, so I killed the worm, so now I'm gonna get the charge beam. I didn't get the charge beam right after killing the worm because that means waiting for his death animation. But I don't have to wait for his death animation if I left him first. So charge beam is not what we call a charge beam. We call it pseudo screw attack because we use it for its pseudo screw attack a lot more than the actual beam attack. Getting charge beam doesn't actually increase the beam's damage, well, the normal beam's damage, unlike in Metroid Fusion where it actually increases your beam damage. But how beam damage works in this game is with each beam upgrade you get, you deal 1 extra damage, aside from charge beam. So you normally deal 2 damage per shot. If you have ice beam, only ice beam, you deal 3 damage. If you have only ray beam, you also deal 3 damage. But if you have 2 of them, you deal 4 damage. And plasma beam is kind of interesting that you deal that same amount of damage per frame. So, yeah. So here, you see charge beam being kind of nice for the pseudo screw attacking. And to note, I'm not going to get screw attack in this run, because it's slow, unfortunately. Alright. Now in Criteria, which is kind of an area that was not in the original game. I mean, let's be honest, 2/3 of this game was not in the original game, but yeah. So there's kind of like these 3 things called unknown items in this game that they added. These leads to upgrades that were not in the original Metroid. That's Plasma Beam right there, I think, probably. Yes, it's Plasma Beam, okay. The other 2 are Space Jump and Gravity Suit, but you don't actually unlock them until after you beat Mother Brain and do a stealth section with Zero Suit Samus. But once you obtain an unknown item, these blocks become shootable. So. And there's a trick I did right there called a jump bomb jump, where you jump in the air, plant the bomb in the midair, and then jump and morph really quickly in the air, and that saves an extra bomb. Minor time save. Now we have Power Grip, which is Tass's best friend because you can like the frame you grab a ledge, you can pretty much jump off it immediately. So it's like the best friend of Tass. It's still pretty nice for console though. Oh well. Alright, so we got Power Grip. Now I'm going to go head over to Lower Norfair and go down to Ridley. So the natural route, quote, is to do Kraid first and then Ridley. And we're going to do Ridley first because that lets you get some super missiles earlier. And it's just really convenient to do Ridley first. It's faster, ultimately. Especially for real time. Also, doing Kraid first means that when you do the Acid Worm skip, you need to do it without Power Grip. So you have to do the horizontal bomb jump method, which not that many people can do consistently. I think me, Sam, and Eagle can do it consistently out of the semi-active runners. Dragon Dart, I think he used to be able to do it too back in the end of the game. But it's a really difficult trick, and I'll probably do it if I fail the standard strat for it. But that's not coming up for like another 15 minutes. So I got Power Grip. It's going to be really handy just for climbing up ledges quickly. And then if I didn't get Power Grip, there will be a plant blocking my path in this room at the very end. Right here. And there's no way to get around it. Alright, so now I'm going to head over and get Ice Beam. Ice Beam is kind of required in the game because you kind of can't kill Metroids without it. And you need to kill Metroids to go through Torian, so kind of have to get Ice Beam. Fortunately, it's kind of also on the way to a nice shortcut to get to Ridley quickly. So I'm going to refill here because it's a marathon and my missile count's admittedly kind of low. And you might see me use missiles kind of unnecessarily, but you have to remember that I don't have long beam. So I don't have projectiles that can go far besides missiles. And you're supposed to use a statue, but I'm just going to skip it. Bye. That's a bad Ripper pattern. So a lot of this run, especially more apparent in Fusion, but in Zero Mission as well, most enemies start with 2 different kinds of patterns when you enter the room. So, like that Ripper can go either to the left or right. It's better if he goes right because you can just freeze it and use it as a platform to reach a shortcut. But a lot of it comes down to just reacting and knowing what to do with each set of enemy patterns. And right there was a red Nova there. I'm gonna grab this just to be safe. I mean, it's faster to get this on the way out, but I'm gonna get it now. Just because it just makes things nicer. Oh, hey. I'm not getting very missile drops. Okay, that works. So this is literally the hardest boss enemy, 100%. So. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's great for a missile count. Oh man, really? One away. There's a faster strat for this, but I haven't practiced it that much, so. Because most of the bosses, and pretty much every boss in this game besides that Cocoon, is pretty much completely cheesed and killed in like 5 seconds. So, like, I'm not even exaggerating. Who's Ridley? So yeah, now we enter Ridley's area. If you, casually speaking, if you don't take any of the developer shortcuts, it's kind of I'm supposed to exit from the right side. And I'm also supposed to fight Imago and get super missiles, but you can kind of skip that by using this little handy shortcut. Right here. I just skipped like half the movie right there. Yeah. So missile count is kind of important to this area because there's a bunch of side hopper-like enemies that do a lot of damage, and if I don't have missiles, I can't kill them quickly, so my best shot is to freeze them with Charge Beam. These guys do a lot of damage. If I'm going to take damage, it's best to take it off of the bugs because they do way less damage. So that actually went pretty well. That usually goes a lot more disastrously. That's not even a word. Alright. It is now. Oh, that's bad luck. Okay, well, I'm going to have to take this risky. Okay, it's nice if the right blue orb goes down because that means you can freeze and use it as a platform, but if it goes up, you have to wall jump. So it gets kind of scary. And if you fall down, you have to go all the way back around and through that annoying side hopper-like room. I mean, if you had speed boost, you can shine spark back up, but I don't have speed boost right now. So it's a consistent strat here. Do not take much damage. Okay. So now I'm gonna actually make a detour here to get an extra missile tank and super missile tank. Super missile tank is the important part of this route. Because again, firepower is really important at any percent, because you cannot damage bosses outside of missiles. And each super missile does 100 damage. Normal missiles do 20 damage. And your beam is pathetically weak, ignoring the fact that bosses are immune to your beam anyways. I'm gonna take the save. Okay. Yeah, why not? Why not? You never know what might happen. I don't remember how many missiles this idol takes, but I'm just going to use super missile on it because it cuts rounds. Plus there's a refill here. Okay. Ah, I missed the glitch. So you can get a refill glitch by landing in there at the same time as grabbing the hidden item, and then you refill during that cutscene. It's really convenient, but I didn't get it. Oh well. So Ridley is kind of a boss. He takes 50 missiles. He has like 1,000 HP, I think. So 50 missiles basically. In 100% it's a lot faster because you have like 8 or 10 supers or whatever depending on what route you use. So you kill him in like 3 seconds. But I only had 4 supers, so I really want super drops here, and I got none, so that's great. Oh, hey, I got the perfect height for that. Getting that bug on the proper height there is a lot harder than it looks, because if he's even... I'm pretty sure if he was like even 1 pixel lower, I wouldn't be able to make that jump and have to use a bomb jump instead. So, that was nice. And because I'm a noob at this category, I'm going to get a 30 tank. The regular route gets only 1 E-tank the entire run. So, but I typically get 2 for PV attempts, but I'm getting 3 because I'm a scaredy cat. I'm not chaotic ace. So, okay. And now I'm just gonna get out of Ridley now. So, to get to Torian, which is kind of the final area of the original game. Hey, I dodge shot somehow. Okay. There's kind of 2 locks. One for beating Kraid and one for beating Ridley. And I beat Ridley, so one of those locks is gone now. Now I need to go and beat Kraid. So basically, I'm just gonna head out and go all the way back, go all the way back out of Norfair, go back to Brinstar, and go to Kraid and fight him and kill him. So there's a really nice shortcut coming up here that the developers put in. Hey, that's kind of an ongoing trend if you haven't noticed. So normally you're supposed to kind of go left, but you can just use this little shortcut here and skip screw attack. So unfortunately, screw attack is very nice to have, but yeah. Now, something optional that I will get is high jump, because high jump is actually significantly faster. It takes, I don't never timed it, but it takes like 30 seconds to get, but it's ultimately worth it, because you save time with basically every single jump you do through the rest of the run. And it also affects your space jump. And it lets you also ball spark and spring ball. So it's very handy and safe. That first drop was really teasing me. So yeah, I'm going to make a slight detour to get the high jump first. Because ultimately, in the long run, it saves a lot of time. So. Oh, hey. Oh, okay. Okay, well, I haven't had to do that in a while. Hey, I got my super drops. I mean, I like one other super drop. Oh, hey, another shortcut here. Kind of an ongoing plan. Okay, time to get out of Norfair. Unfortunately, I don't have speed boost, so I can't just speed boost in this room, because that's another shortcut developers put in. Hey, those rippers give me a nice pattern there. If they're in the way, I just kind of have to take damage and then reflip and wall jump again, so yeah. Minish Cap. Minish Cap is the best. Minish Cap Hundo. That is the best category. This climb is kind of awful to do. Quickly. Falling down this hall is legit one of the hardest things to do in the run. Like, actually, it's pretty difficult to do. Yeah. Alright, down to Kraid. So I'm going to do probably the big skip of the run, which is Asteroid skip. You're supposed to fight Asteroid, who is on the right side of the area. And then that unlocks the zip lines, but I'm going to skip the zip line in this trick. So, and this is kind of a gateway for a lot of new runners. It saves about a minute to do. So in any percent, you have Pyro Grip and Spring Ball, which is kind of nice. Got it, okay. If I missed that, I would have to do a horizontal bomb jump as a backup, or reset the room, which takes way longer. But yeah, that trick is kind of difficult to learn, but with a lot of practice, you can be pretty consistent with it. Like, I personally haven't lost many runs to it. Alright, now we're going to get the final hidden item, and I'm a noob, so I'm going to go ahead and refill. Because I don't have enough supers to kill this enemy named Kraid, who's not a boss at all. these double missiles are kind of tight to do. You missed that. And that can't do much about that pattern. There we go. Again, enemy patterns are completely random in this game. Most of them have 2 different patterns you can start off with, so you just have to react to them. Alright, so this is the door to this guy named Craig. Yeah. Okay, 5. He has 15 missiles of health. So with his mouth open, if you squeeze him through, he pushes you guys instantly. But if you don't one round him, then he closes his mouth and you have to hit his eye with a missile. Yeah, you don't have supers at this point. So in 100% you do crate first, so you have to actually fight him, which is still a pretty fast fight if you know how to do it properly. So now we got speed boost. Basically, if you run a long time, you go fast and you break speed boost drops. And you can also do these cool tricks called Shine Sparks, just introduced in Super Metroid. This should be the right spot. And since I did Acid Worm Skip, I'm supposed to take a zip line back to the upper floor, but I didn't activate zip lines, so I need to do a Shine Spark to skip that. There we go. Hey, oh, bye! And this is an example where high jump saves so much time. Just like, if I didn't have high jump, I'd have to either do an extra wall jump or something, or power grip every single jump. So, it saves a lot of time. Same with this room here. Unless you don't know how to jump like I don't know how to. Okay. Alright, so this is probably the hardest trick in the run coming up, which doesn't really save time, but it's kind of a mitigating bad luck kind of factor. So I'm going to go for an unintended quote-quote way of getting an extra super missile tank. It looks really cool if I pull it off. Of course I get it now. I got it. So theoretically, this actually loses time, assuming you get like amazing luck in Torian, but on average, you're better off getting this, at least going for this once. Because the idea behind Torian is that you need 5 missiles to kill each Metroid, and you need 4 Zebutite walls. You need 7 missiles for each one, and you need 35 missiles for Mother Brain. So you basically need you need a lot of missiles basically. And having the extra super missile tank gives you a lot of leeway with missile drops and using more supers, so you can basically make sure you maintain a high missile count throughout Torian. So, but I mean, if you don't have 6 supers, it's not the end of the world. You don't have to do it. It's just really nice to have to mitigate bad luck. So, hey, that's kind of nasty. I thought this was a rated E game. Yeah. Alright, so there's a really funny glitch you can do that I've never been able to pull off. And you basically die instantly if you do it, so obviously I'm not going to do it. But you can get a Shine Spark, you can charge a Shine Spark, and in the first room with the Metroid, if you Shine Spark into the Metroid as it spawns, which is completely random, then you'll get stuck in your Shine Spark animation in the air. You basically soft lock, except the Metroid's eating you, so you die, like, instantly. That's great. Oh, wasted super drop, okay. So, the spawn location of these Metroids are all the same, but how long they take to appear is random, and the drops they give is random too. It's best for me to maintain full health as much as I can, because that means I'm not going to get health drops, meaning more missile drops. This is really about maintaining missile management and not taking damage. Alright, so I'm going to jump right here to manipulate that Metroid up in the upper right corner to show up earlier. Oops. And so having the extra super missiles basically lets me not use 5 missiles and then basically get this. It's basically a free missile refill for the most part. Okay, you spawned kind of early. You spawned. Okay, there we go. Oh. Okay. That worked out. Oh. As you can tell, I'm taking this very safely because this is 4 a.m. and I am freaking tired. Hey, super missile drop. So what I need to do next after this room, this is the last room with Metroids. I'm gonna blow open the first 2 Zapatites, come back, and I need to farm until I'm at 50 missiles, 4 supers. But I have an extra super missile drop, so that means I only need to farm up to 40 missiles. Okay. So and it works out. So once I hit 40 missiles, 6 supers, I need every single missile. I can spare exactly 1 missile. If I didn't have 6 super missile tanks, then I'd have to completely fill my missile and super missile count, and I only have 1 missile to spare to waste. Otherwise, I have to go for more refills. So come on. 38. Really? There we go. 40. Missiles here. You can only skip the first 2. I don't remember the exact mechanics behind it, but you can't just skip all of them. Oh, well, this is not going very well. This hasn't happened like forever. Okay, I need more missiles then. Eh. 14, that's not enough. Get that drop. That worked out. Okay, so every time you fire 5 missiles and you deal 100 damage to the Mother Brain, it closes its eye and it ends the round. So that's why I squeeze in 3, 4 missiles and then a super, so I can squeeze in more damage per round. So that's what I was doing back there. I haven't missed that giant clip in a while. No, I'm supposed to escape because everything's blowing up. Sam's like doing that. Okay. I'm not sure how he missed that, but okay. Yeah, so this is where the original Metroid ends, but the developer decided to put in like an extra spot where Samus gets shot down and she's kind of not in her suit anymore. So you have to go through a stealth section in a new area called Trozodia. It kind of explains her history with the Trozo, and then you have to go on the stealth mission to get your suit back. And then once I get my suit back, you unlock all the hidden items: plasma beam, space jump, and gravity suit. And then you go beat a boss in Trozodia. Spoiler alert, Meta Ridley. And then you have to escape from the game. Since this thing, I don't have things like wave beam or long beam or screw attack, so like it's actually like a lot of casual players feel like you're invincible until you want to get your suit back, and that's kind of true because like I mean, if you have all your upgrades, intended upgrades, you're gonna kill everything in like 1 shot, and you shoot through everything, and you have screw attack. But in this case, I don't have screw attack, I don't have wave beam, I don't have long beam, so. And plasma beam doesn't really do that much damage alone, because I only have ice and plasma, so I don't have to fully charge powered beam. And space pirates do a lot of damage, and almost nothing gives you drops in Trozodia, so it can be kind of dangerous if you're not careful. But first of all, I guess, stealth section. So your weapon is kind of a little stunner, just a meter in the upper left corner. Your stunner basically does absolutely nothing to space pirates, but when it's fully charged, you stun you stun the pirate that you shoot. There's a strat here early on to manipulate the alarm to turn off quickly. There's a way to avoid getting caught in the basically your first room. It requires a frame perfect shot, but I mean it's slower though. So that's also something we call the map of shame. Because if you grab it, you lose a bunch of real time, and a small chunk of in-game time too. All right. Oops. Oh, okay. I don't know how to wall jump today. Well, I guess. Yeah, I know. They are difficult. Is it really 5 a.m.? It's 5:11. Jeez. So that alarm was supposed to turn off earlier if I didn't screw that up completely. Because basically what happens is, if you have an alarm going on, then the alarm turns off after a set amount of time with you not getting seen. But I got seen by another pirate during that first alarm, so yeah. So, goodness, how do I wall jump? Okay. How do I aim? Jeez. So a lot of casual players don't really like this part of the game, and to some degree, I think that's kind of understandable. From a speedrunning perspective, it's kind of fun because it's pretty much a test of your wall jumping abilities and general movements. Why can't Metroid crawl? Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna manipulate these searchlights and reset them by entering the store. This is kind of an in-game time strat here to reset them, but there is a strategy to not do that. It saves real time. Yeah, I don't know what FPS the stream is running at, but if it's at like 30 FPS or less, you might not be able to see the searchlights. No. You don't want to get caught by those searchlights. It's actually 60, okay, so the stream should be able to see them clearly. Right there I did a technique called, oh, well, I was supposed to get caught there, but it's not a big deal. I was doing a technique called a jump extend, where if you're spinning in the air and you shoot out of it, you gain a little bit, you kind of hover in the air for like a few frames or something, and you gain a tiny bit of extra distance. It works in Fusion too. It's a little bit different in Zero Mission in the sense that in Fusion you can jump extend if you break out of your spin in the air anytime. In Zero Mission it only matters if you shoot out of your spin. But this stealth section is like the only spot where it's really applicable in Zero Mission, so it doesn't really see much use. Save rooms, wall jumping here. Okay, well if I mess it up, I need to reset the room. Or I could do that too. That's not good. What do I do in this scenario? Because I haven't really been caught here before in the run, like actually, so I'm not entirely sure what to do. Oh, not good. Okay. My excuse is that it's 5 a.m. Oh, hey, I get to do that. Bye. I think that's what you're intended to do if you get caught. Just wait here, shoot him down, and then just wait. If you get caught in the wrong spot, you're just kind of sitting there waiting, and it sucks. But I'm going to get caught here intentionally. Well, hopefully I don't mess up my wall jumping. So strat here, freeze this pirate here. And if I manipulated that correctly, I'm going to slow down intentionally, so there's a pirate below me who's going to turn around at the right time. Got it, okay. So no one saw me for a long time, so the alarm's off now. And this saves like almost 2 seconds of real time, I think. It doesn't really save any in-game time because if the alarm's still going on, you can just enter a save room and exit. And the transition for that, it doesn't count towards in-game time. It's really important to get that in hard mode though. Because in hard mode, the save room that's up here, the save room here, is gone. So if you get caught, you have to wait out that alarm the entire time, in its entirety. So hard mode kind of has some interesting differences that actually makes it an interesting speed game compared to normal. Because like, a lot of enemy placements are different. Some save rooms are removed, or change some strats actually. And you get less ammo and health for each expansion, so it completely changes the missile route too. So, oh hey, I'm gonna die in 1 minute. Oh, that's scary. Yeah, I probably should have saved earlier. Oh well. Especially since it's like 5 a.m. right now. Go crawl, go crawl, go crawl! I can't talk today. Oh my god. Wait, they do 100 damage, so I die in the next hit. Because I'm crazy, I'm gonna shoot this out. Okay, I'm not that crazy, so I'm gonna save and heal. So despite coming up, for some reason we call it Charlie. I think Jagger G came up with the name. It's kind of like a Chozo test to get our suit back or something. The idea is that you have to wait out the mirror and wait until it's vulnerable and then shoot it. But if you shoot the mirror at the wrong time, you hurt yourself and deal 50 damage to yourself. But on the second and third cycles, I think the fourth round too, if you shoot yourself as early as possible, then on average, the weak point will show up 1 second faster. And it's pretty noticeable if you compare that. So I'm going to be damaging myself intentionally for the second through fourth rounds. Because on average, that makes the weak point show up faster, more quickly. Which is why Eagle, who is the world record holder, he said that it's roughly the same time to actually refill your health than to just not refill at all. Because if you refill your health, then you can go for the faster strats here. It actually saves a few seconds, so. Alright. Hello. Okay, that was pretty bad luck. Okay, I'm gonna hurt myself here. And and if I'm lucky, it'll show up basically instantly. That was bad. That's pretty bad luck. That's terrible luck. Wow. Okay. Shoot myself again. Dude, that was pretty bad luck in general. Okay, well. Wow, this Charlie fight sucks. Both my execution and the luck was pretty bad. There we go. There we go. Oh, I missed it. There's a glitch you can do here to retain control of Samus. And then you can start shooting shots during this cutscene. And then after this cutscene, the shots get all glitched out because it's using the wrong sprites, I think. But I missed it, so sad face. So, alright. I got my suit back. Now I'm going to go fight Metroid. Oh, spoilers. Sorry.
I can get out of here now.
So many spoilers, wow. And she also gets her epic shoulder pads. So yeah, I don't have weight beam, and I don't have long beam, so my beam is pretty limited, actually. Yeah. So right now, my beam only does like 4 damage. To be fair, it does 4 damage per frame for that plasma, but it's still not that strong. As a comparison for how weak your beam is in this game compared to like Fusion and Super Metroid, if you have your fully powered beam, a charge beam does 24 damage. And missiles, each missile does 20 damage. So yeah, your beam kind of sucks in this game in general. Ignoring adding on the fact that basically every boss is completely immune to your beam, besides Acid Worm. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's a good question. Space Pirates do run faster than you until you actually execute this. If you didn't notice from stealth section when I was at like 1 hit away from dying. Thank you. You're supposed to use a bomb there, but Space Pirate shots for some reason also destroy bomb blocks, so that's kind of convenient. I'm charging my beam to manipulate these atomics, bomb boosts, because they try to shoot you, but if you start charging your beam, then they stop trying to shoot you. Oh, set up. Oh well. Again, missile management is still important, even though I'm in like the endgame. So I want to conserve missiles for the work bots. Work bots are these yellow robots that completely block your path, and they move very slowly unless you fire missiles at them. I also want to make sure I have all 6 super missiles for Iron Ted fight. So Iron Ted, or Mega Ridley, or whatever, he dies in 6 super missiles, normally, but if you 100% the game, he gets triple health. So if you 100% the game and he suddenly dies instantly, then that means you forgot something, and that sucks. But I don't have to worry about getting 90%, which is nice. And he does like a lot more damage at 100% too, so he's actually easier in 80% than 100%. Did I not kill that pirate back there? Whatever. There we go. There's a strategy to make a pirate snipe out a bomb block for you here. I haven't practiced it, but it looks really cool. I'm very scared. I'm just gonna kill everything here. Okay. I'm actually gonna go ahead and save because I'm paranoid and I am super tired. And I'm actually relatively low on health. Hey, I just saved frames. Couldn't do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and save just to be very safe. So. Oh god, shut up. Ah! Okay. I want to make sure I kill that pirate because he can't use save stations with the alarm still on. So there's this glitch on the final boss that's really epic, and I don't care about the quality of the rest of this run if I get that. So hopefully I'll get it. Everything is indeed lost. It totally saves time. Like it's not like I wait around for the boss to give me a certain attack pattern. Okay. Good. Okay, one more missile. Here are my numbers. Oh, alright. Come on. Yes! Yes! Got it! Evacuate! Aw, they're gone. Yo, it's always worth it. Alright, now I kind of have to escape. Yeah, there's also a color palette glitch upon, like, when you escape on the ship, but you need power bombs to do it, so I don't have power bombs. Oh wait, yeah, you're kind of supposed to have power bombs. Like, right below the room I'm in right now, but just use a shortcut that developers put in. Oh, time will be up soon-ish. Probably in like a minute or two. Oh, hey. Alright, so here's a really cool developer intended. Let's just pretend the developers didn't intend this. It's not cool. Here's a really cool sequence break glitch coming up soon. It was totally not intended by developers. Ooh. Oh, dang it. I'll try it again. I forgot to pop a setup for it. Oh, hey, no pop. Oh, no. I just lost it there. There we go. And this is a big reason why you want high jump, because you can't ball spark without high jump. And I'm now at the end of stage. See you. Hello, come up here please. Let me choose you. Bye. Alright, time is now. Oh, well, whatever. Sub 45 or whatever, something like that. Hey, hero pirate! So, the cut estimate, that works. Well, but I want to just move to the next one. Plus, it's a zero mission. We don't care about game time now. Yeah, we swapped to RTA. Like, zero mission used to go by in-game time, but there's an exploit found with pausing where everything but Samus moves for a frame or something along those lines, including and the in-game timer also freezes. So in a few spots where, for example, when you're waiting for Ridley to die, you can just spam pause repeatedly over and over and over again, and you save like a second of in-game time for no reason. Basically, yeah. And it's really stupid. And for some reason, that exploit's not in Metroid Fusion. And Metroid Fusion came out first. So Metroid Fusion, the game timer is better than Zero Mission, kind of. Except it doesn't show seconds. But yeah, that's why the Zero Mission community basically prioritizes real time now. So next run.